welcome to AfricaCom TV, coming to you live from the AFEST at AfricaCom in Cape Town, South Africa. We're joined by Thione Niang from the Department of Energy in the United States of America. He's also co-founder of Akon Lighting Africa and the Give One project. How are you doing, Thione?
I'm doing very well, and you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Very
Thank
good.
you for joining us here at AfricaCom and AFEST. How are you enjoying yourself?
It's great. I've had a great time. It was a very long trip getting here, but ended up being a great conversations today about ITC and Africa and the development that we need in the continent, how we can use ITC to get there. And it was great speakers around and great networks with people from around the world that came in. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's a great deal of conversation. It was a jam-packed agenda for everybody. I wanted to get into a bit about your involvement at AfricaCom, but I thought I'd take it back a notch and talk about your background, because it's an amazing story. You told you had some inspiring words for everybody today at AfricaCom in your keynote address. You started out as an immigrant to America with $20 in your pocket, and about 5 years later, you were appointed as ambassador to the Department of Energy by Barack Obama. It's such an inspiring story. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, it's just the story of many immigrants in the United States. It's one of millions of immigrants who, out of nowhere, came in that country with a heart full of hope and aspirations. And if you are in America, if you were willing to work hard from the ground, you can really make your dreams come true. And that's what we've done. There's no exception to that. I came there to try to make life better for me and my family. And it took time. It took a lot of work, a lot of sacrifices. It's not an overnight thing. It took years to be there. And there's no miracle to it. I used to say that to a lot of young people. You have people like Elon Musk, who's from here, South Africa, who came there, and you see what he's doing today in the United States. So there's no miracle to that, So that's what I
Just
like
hard
to
work,
say.
dedication.
Hard work, dedication, and a lot of optimism. If you have that in America, if you believe in hard work, everything is possible. I don't think it's not only in America. It's just it's easier in that area because the infrastructure is in place for many people. But now even we see people in our continent that never left here that are doing more than we've done. Us who was left to go to look for opportunity elsewhere.
That's wonderful, and a lot of what you do is so informed by a strong political awareness and social consciousness. Where did that first stem?
The first step came into frustration and also questioning. Frustration because I was very frustrated, very young, into a lot of different things in the home setting first. And then when I came to America, in my neighborhood in 2003 to 2004, I was trying to figure out when the economic meltdown happened in America during Bush administration. Americans losing their jobs, jobs was being shipped overseas. I saw close friends that was losing their homes, their families. And I was questioning myself to what can I do to be proactive, to be a part of what can make a difference immediately in a very small scale, small level the way I was. And I know right away I had to get involved into decision-making process because politics makes things work in every country that you go, especially in a democratic country as America. So in Cleveland, Ohio, I started just knocking on tables, looking for candidates that can represent what I believe could help change America, I believe in, and first for my community. And I think from there, I got hooked into the politics, from the local politics to the county-wide politics, and then statewide politics, then nationwide, and then now I'm doing things globally.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first step started from there.
And it grew and grew and grew. And as a Democrat and as an advocate of the Obama administration, obviously the last week to 10 days events in the US has been, a lot of people are still processing that. It's quite a shock to the system. How do you think, in an African context, how do you think the US's relationship or the dynamic between Africa and the US will change as a result of President Trump's election?
Well, I think I'm not in shock because I somehow kind of sensed from the beginning that he was going to win, and it surprised a lot of people and my friends because I knew the level of scrutinized where we are since President Obama been in office. And there is a a group of Americans who never accepted him as a president. And the same thing they talked about in the dinner table, in the kitchen table, he was just waiting for a right person who can take advantage of that and use it and run with it. And that's what Trump did. Trump was able to just, everything that was not politically correct to say, he was able to take it out because he's not a politician, so he doesn't care about being politically correct. He can quickly say the things that he said in the campaign trail, like, you know, banning Muslims and, you know, building a wall and kicking immigrants out and such division speeches that only him can say. And he were able to gain the masses that really believed in that. But he went a little further than that. And when it came to you have a candidate with an outsider like him against Hillary Clinton, who had a very hard time to connect with voters.
Yes.
And then had a hard time to connect with the millennials, the young people who voted for President Obama and the young people who also voted for Bernie Sanders in the primaries and who thought that elections was rigged from them with what happened between the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton. So those young people didn't come out to vote. That's one. The second thing is that the Latino vote that we thought would come out to vote didn't. The Latinos, surprisingly, the number that came out with Trump, 29% was too big. That's why we lost Florida.
Yep.
And 64% voted for her. 88% voted for President Obama. So there's a huge gap. Even everything he said he's advocated about, sending immigrants back, speaking against Latinos, they still voted for her. So that tells you that there's a lot of people who didn't approve Hillary Clinton. And also, a lot of people who say, well, why not try something new? In the history of our country, since 1886, we've never had a point where we have a Republican Democrat that has the 2 terms and has another 3rd term. It's always been a challenge for us. We thought Hillary was going to do it. It didn't happen, so we went back to Americans tend to always change after 2 terms, and this became true to that. So, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as many people think. I think somehow, I'm being optimistic, that what you talk about when you're campaigning and governing is completely different. America, the country, will remain America.
Yeah.
And there are strong institutions in the country that doesn't allow the president he's coming and deporting people and do craziness. President Obama made a lot of promises in the campaign. He's tried hard. Many he's done, many he couldn't do because we didn't have the Congress and the Senate, so he was not able to deliver those things. I will give you an example. President Obama deported 2.4 million illegal immigrants. I'm sure he didn't want to do that. But the system cannot change the system in that way. So just to tell you, let's be optimistic. And the American people have spoken into who's their new president. And we all will have to just support him, hoping that he's successful, because if he's successful, all America is successful. And our relationship with the world is very important to us, and I hope that the new administration keep that into consideration, into building alliances and friendships across the world rather than dividing and creating enemies across the world.
For sure. It's going to be a decisive and definitive time for all involved, because as you know, there's definite ripple effects. Whatever happens in the States will trickle out and ripple out and affect other nations. You know this as ambassador. I kind of want to shift focus now on your socioeconomic work through your initiatives, like especially Akon Lighting Africa and your Give One project. In the region of Africa, what kind of work have you been able to do socioeconomically through these 2 projects?
Well, with Give One project, I saw a need in 2009, right after President Obama's elections, that the energy we had during the elections, galvanizing young people to Iowa, to Ohio, to Florida, extra all over the country, was something special. And we really changed the way politics was done in America. These were young people who, out of nowhere, challenged the system and challenged the way politics was done from all levels, from the grassroots level to fundraising levels, to from $1, $2 fundraising levels, to using social media to bring about a candidate who everybody thought would never be able to make it. So when President Obama invited us to Washington, all of the staff, to talk about what is next. After we won the election, it's supposed to be the beginning now. So we can deliver the change to the American people. Or you go to your community and make a difference all across the world. And I was thinking of the millions of young Africans who would never have the opportunity that I got. And now I'm sitting with the President of the United States. And just 8 years prior to that, I was in Africa trying to find out the next meal to eat. I said it would be selfish for me to be here, get a job in the White House and take care of myself and family, when I can use this energy and strategies that I've gained from him in the campaign to go organize around the world young people and give them that same energy that President Obama has given me, so they can create change in their local community, in their lives, in their families, and in their countries, and why not across the world like us done. This is where the launch of Give One Project came about. And today we are in 32 countries across the world, more than 24,000 members, incubation centers across the world, training young people on entrepreneurship and on leadership. And it's amazing because it's through that Akon Lighting Africa was born. And again, I learned through that process that you become by giving. Your true gift, you'll find it by giving what you got. And it's through giving, and that's why I called it Give One Project, my time, my energy, that I met Akon and invited him to be a part of the program I had in Washington at the White House with 200 young entrepreneurs. And Akon asked me, why don't we do something for Africa together? Through that meeting in Washington with Give One Project, we launched at the Give One Project office in Dakar in 2013, Akon Lighting Africa. Why Akon Lighting Africa? Because growing up in Kaolack, my home didn't have electricity. I grew up in not having energy. So I knew immediately what it meant to me. I told Khan that my grandfather used to wake me up early in the morning to study. And today, millions of those young Africans are going through the same problems. And I cannot sit in America and hoping Africa will develop tomorrow when these young people cannot compete tomorrow because they're going through the same thing I went through when our children in America and in Europe and etc. not only have electricity, but they now into internet in the internet world. In Africa, 600 million people don't have energy.
That's a staggering number in this day and age.
Exactly. How are you going to turn internet and use application and be innovative when you don't even have a light to learn a lesson? Forget about internet. That's the fundamentals of development. You cannot talk about development without education. And today you can't talk about education, healthcare, security, job creations, you name it in the industrial world. Everywhere you look at, energy has to be at the core of everything we talk about. That's why we invested in it. Thankfully, since 2013, today we are in 17 countries. Akon Lighting Africa launched its first solar panel academy in Africa, training young Africans to do the work for us, because it's about transferring the knowledge in the continent, but also training them to do the work so we can give them jobs, because we know that jobs is about dignity. It's about giving these young people the dignity to not take the boats, try to cross the ocean or the Red Sea or the Mediterranean Sea to go to Europe. Because of it, we've lost 1,500 young people last year in Africa try to go to Europe looking for opportunities that there is no jobs there. This is why the job creation was important. Today we are hiring, we have 5,400 young people working for Akon Lighting Africa. So in a nutshell, that's what Akon Lighting Africa and Give One Project is about.
It's a phenomenal achievement. Congratulations. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us here at AfricaCom.
God bless. Thank you for having me. I enjoy South Africa.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you.